Hello everyone, and welcome to the third edition of the Bard Spotlight. Moving along Bard's kit, this episode we're going to look at his W, Caretaker's Shrine. Quite frankly, Bard's least impactful skill, there's still some things we can think about to make sure we're using it in the best ways possible. I'm going to quickly go through the logistics of this spell, and then we'll get into when and where you want to be using it. Bard's W is a health shrine that's value increases with the time it remains on the map after casted, to a cap of 10 seconds. It also grants a short burst of speed to the champion healed by it. At its core, this is a unique sustain tool that allows Bard to invest his excess mana into something that can be used later at a better time, and importantly, without Bard's immediate presence. This means that it synergizes well with Bard's love for roaming. Let's start off simple. At its basic use, you can manually cast the W on top of an ally or yourself for an immediate minimum value heal and a short burst of speed. Useful in tight situations, and the bonus move speed can help with dodging skill shots. Be careful though, it does have a little bit of a cast time. Other than that, you're typically going to want to place these shrines in your lane and wait to benefit from the maximum value of the heal. This is largely due to the insane mana cost of 90 at level 1, which does not allow you to spam it. So here's where it gets interesting. You can only have 3 shrines up at a time, so where you decide to place them becomes the most important decision you make when using this spell. Something I didn't mention earlier is that if enemies walk over your shrines, they'll disappear. That's a huge amount of resources down the drain, due to the large initial mana cost as I mentioned, and the loss of the potential health gain. Now because Bard players are going to be so afraid of this happening, you'll often see them placing their shrines behind them in the lane. Now some Bards will even go as far as to make sure the shrines are placed somewhere near their tower to prevent them from being cancelled at all costs. While this is a fine strategy if you're constantly being pushed and harassed near your tower, the moment your lane starts to push out, those defensively placed shrines are going to lose all of their value. Let's look at it this way. When shrines are placed far behind you, you'll either have to spend a lot of time walking back to go collect them, or you'll need to overwrite them with a new closer shrine. This is essentially the same result as having it cancelled out. Also, and more importantly, when your shrines are far behind you, you don't have the option of using them in the middle of an engagement or an all-in, and this severely limits the potential of the ability. Ideally, you want to be able to gauge the status of your lane and place your shrines according to whether or not you're pushing aggressively and looking for trades. This tends to be the case when you're playing Bard, due to his ability to win trades at low levels. Moreover, when you place your shrines aggressively in front of you, between you and your enemy, you create a sort of objective in the lane. Personally, I find that enemy supports tend to be very adamant in trying to cancel out your shrines, and they'll often put themselves in bad positions on which you can capitalize with a lot of harass. Lastly, there's a small trick you can use with Bard's W that's very helpful, but probably most people are not aware of. Upon cast, Bard's W actually grants a small amount of vision that dissipates soon after. You can use this trick instead of face checking somewhere because you don't have wards at that moment. Just remember that the vision is only granted for about 1 second, not the entire duration of the shrine. Thanks for watching the third episode of my Spotlight series. As always, feel free to let me know what you liked or didn't like about the video. If you haven't already, go check out the first 2 episodes of the series about Bard's passive and his Q. And most importantly, I hope you learned a thing or two about Bard or about League of Legends in general. And I'll see you in the next video.